Hello and welcome to another edition of Fides Podcast. My name is Jerry Serino and I'm your host, and I'm here with talent on loan from Rush. There's been a ton of conversations and a ton of talk going on about the abortion pill. The left is looking to make it out to be this easy, simple, very, very private action in which women could conduct their health care or their reproductive rights. But there's, as usual, the left is not very honest or certainly not caring about the impact of women. So I'm here today with Susan Swift. She is the legal counsel, VP of Legal Affairs for the Right to Life League. Sorry, and she's here to talk specifically about the abortion pill and its effects and what the left is hiding. Susan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me, Jerry. It's a real privilege to be with you.
Oh, pleasure is all mine. Privilege is all mine. So let's start off with the abortion pill. I did a talk at a university a couple weeks ago, and someone had asked the question about a young kid having if they got pregnant through rape, and they said, you're going to make a little kid, a young person, go through a pregnancy. That's dangerous. And I said, well, there's danger to an abortion too. It's a medical procedure. And they made the point of saying, well, there's the abortion pill. That's easy and simple. So give us the facts about the pill.
Well, the abortion pill it's a drug cocktail. All right. They like to refer to it as medication abortion because it sounds so nice. You're getting medicine, right? Healthcare.
Hmm.
That's also part of the lie that abortion is healthcare. A medication abortion is a drug cocktail, two different chemicals. The first one is mifepristone. It's also known as RU486. It came from
Hmm.
France in the year 2000, thanks to the Bill Clinton administration in coordination, collaboration, and a handshake deal with the Rockefeller Population Council. Right? That just think about where that's coming from. So that's how it got in here. That's mifepristone. What that does is it interferes with a woman's natural hormone progesterone, which maintains a pregnancy, maintains the placenta, the lining of the uterus, all of that continues a pregnancy in a healthy way. But when you interrupt that hormone, what happens is the uterine lining, the placenta starts degrading, and the baby is starved to death. That's what happens. 2 days later, you take the second part of the pill, the drug cocktail, which is called misoprostol. That is a drug it was not developed for abortions. It was developed for another purpose, but it's used off that label. It's used to induce strong uterine contractions, so basically premature labor, so that the woman takes that and then goes into labor and expels the dead or dying baby into her toilet at home. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about chemical abortion. She
Hmm.
goes through this alone at home in her bed and probably in her bathroom, and aborts into a toilet because there's no one there anymore supervising this. The telehealth medicine has been extended thanks to the Biden administration in 2021. They removed of course, citing COVID, right?
Hmm.
That it was too dangerous to come in to actually see, go to an abortion clinic and actually meet person to person, see somebody there, and at least have it be prescribed to you, and then at least watch as you take the pill after being confirmed with a gestational ultrasound to make sure that you are actually within the time frame parameters that the FDA suggests is quote unquote safe, which is under 12 weeks gestational age. Used to be, before Biden interfered, you had to at least go get an ultrasound to verify how far along you were. These were all put in place to protect women's health, because we know what chemical abortions do to babies. They kill they kill them. They starve the baby to death and then expel the baby. But for the sake of the woman, they wanted to make sure that they didn't have these awful side effects like sepsis, bleeding, heavy bleeding that requires surgery, a second abortion attempt, something to stop the bleeding. You can get sepsis, which is a blood infection, and can die. There are 28 recorded deaths, according to the FDA. These are women who died in association with taking the abortion pill. So, and the data is not comprehensive enough because there are many different states that don't track data. The FDA doesn't want to track data. These are the deaths that we know of, and these are the side effects that we know of. There's studies out of Charlotte Lozier Institute that suggest a 500% increase in risks that happen for women who are taking the abortion pill. So it is not safe. It is at best, you have to go through labor alone, by yourself in your bed or in your bedroom, and no one's there. Again, this is they give you, they now also, because of what Biden has done in early 2023 in January, he removed any restrictions that would require you to go and pick up the drug in person from like an abortion mill or a hospital. Right now, he's expanded it so that you can just drive through Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, get your prescription filled there, and then go home and then abort your baby into a toilet. That you never even have to go in to a doctor. There's no one going to be there with you. And you do this alone. I mean, it's really scary and sad. And they promise, yeah, they'll call you and they'll follow up. We have anecdotal information from women who have been prescribed the abortion pill and have changed their mind. That basically they don't call the abortion mill, Planned Parenthood. They don't call. They don't follow up. They just make sure you get your prescription and send you on your merry way. That's what's going on. And no one's there to actually protect the health of the mother when she's taking these pills. And again, another thing that isn't really talked about very much is that the woman herself, through telehealth, the magic of telehealth medicine, if you go on, you can estimate when your period stopped. And so you can guess yourself, well, I think I'm about, 14 weeks along. But you could guess younger as well. You could say, oh, I know they're not going to give it to me after 12 weeks, so I better just report it differently. You could do that intentionally, or perhaps not even know, because sometimes young women aren't sure exactly when their period started and they haven't been keeping track. So they're guessing as far along, how far along am I in this pregnancy? So they can intentionally or mistakenly provide false information to the abortion mill, who then uses that information to prescribe the abortion pill. And that's dangerous for women, because once it's past about 12 weeks, I think it's 10 to 12 weeks, so right in there, the risks go up dramatically, because then you're talking about a second trimester abortion through this chemical procedure. And that's the point at which the placenta is much more connected and kind of embedded into the woman's uterus, and so you can hemorrhage to death if you deliver an aborted baby. You've aborted your baby through chemical abortion, and perhaps some of the placenta has not come all the way out and come loose, so that there's still tissue inside and you're bleeding out. That can happen with an abortion pill, depending on when you take it. And these are things that are not, I don't think they're clearly explained to women. And I think in our media, I don't think any of this is explained either. This is offered as a panacea, like, oh, it's almost like it's just birth control after the fact, right? It's just this happy way of just avoiding, as though that there's not going to be any labor, as though there's not going to be any pain, as though there's not going to be an abortion of a baby into the toilet, that there's not going to be blood and tissue going into the toilet or onto your bathroom floor. That's what is being sold to women in the name of convenience or health care or privacy.
So how many other medical procedures, we all take medicine at home. We go to the pharmacy, pick up an antibiotic or whatever it is, and we take it at home. Has to be prescribed though. But this is more than just taking some medicine. This is an actual medical procedure. How many medical procedures like this? How many people have a colonoscopy at home without a doctor, right? How many people have other procedures like this? Do they exist? Do they let anyone do something like this at home?
I don't know. I am not sure about what they would let you do at home. This is a unique area of our law that keeps carving out special protections for women's reproductive health care. They're branding abortion as health care. And yet in every abortion, at least one person dies, usually the baby. That's what abortion is. It's the killing of an innocent human being in the womb. That's the purpose of abortion. It is not health care. If we were talking about true health care, and if we were talking about one of the rare cases, they're less than 2%, where you're talking about an ectopic pregnancy, preeclampsia, something that is endangering the life of the mother, truly, then the most effective method is delivery. You can look it up. It's Dr. Anthony Levatino. He's a former abortionist who explains, he's done interviews with Lila Rose and others that explain exactly what happens in a chemical abortion, in a surgical abortion, and why it is never necessary to save the life of the mother. You can save the life of the mother in minutes with a delivery that also protects the life of the child, at least gives that baby a chance at life, even if it's premature. But at least you honor the child and you deliver the child without cutting it up in little pieces or vacuuming it into a sink or poisoning it to death with a saline shot or digoxin or starving it to death. Those are the methods we're talking about right now.
So, as I mentioned before, there's no that I'm aware of procedure similar to this that is allowed to happen at home. I've never heard of someone telling me that they're giving themselves a colonoscopy or something like that at home, and they'll just figure it out. What are the where's the FDA in this? They have to document. I mean, you document adverse effects to all sorts of medicines. Medicines are pulled, they're recalled, products are recalled all the time if they hit a certain level. Do they either ignore their own standards, or do they just not want the data?
Well, I think we know that the FDA is politically controlled in some ways.
Hmm.
We've known that from COVID, right? We know that there are some side effects and some concerning things about COVID, and yet the FDA and the CDC, everybody's been pushing that for a very long time. We know also from the data that is available that 28 women have died in association with taking the abortion pill, mifepristone, and yet still it's on the market. We also know that there is currently a lawsuit in which a group of doctors, I believe out of Texas, are suing the FDA because they're saying, look, this special preference that the FDA has given to mifepristone, that the FDA has not followed its protocol to approve this drug, that it basically was politically approved. And so they're challenging exactly what you're talking about is, well, what are the standards that the FDA is applying? Is there a special carve out for this drug in particular? And is that legal? So everything is becoming political because abortion is a political issue. One side likes to say that abortion is healthcare, which is a lie. That is
Hmm.
that is false information. That is misinformation. As I've explained to you, abortion is the killing of a human being in the womb. The end. You can't debate that because that's exactly what happens. Now, the other side likes to say it's healthcare, but what we're trying to say, what we're arguing is that it is never healthcare, and what you're doing is you're killing people. So it has become a political issue based on the money involved and based on the powers that control our medical establishment. I know that so many medical establishments, whether it's the OBGYNs, all these different groups, they have vested interest in being on one side or the other of this political issue. We're politicizing healthcare.
Hmm.
And that shouldn't be a surprise because we've just gotten through with 3 years of an emergency health declaration over COVID. That was
Hmm.
politicized. It was weaponized against the American people to control what we have. Now an appeals court has just struck down the FDA's requirement that federal workers be
Hmm.
vaccinated. Right, that's just been struck down. All of this we're in the political arena now. We're outside of healthcare. This isn't
Hmm.
healthcare. This is political lawfare. That's what we're engaged
Yeah.
with now.
Yeah, that's true. The very true. I think the government experts or government agencies, including the FDA, have lost all credibility to me. It's that simple. So one other area is the case of we know that child sex trafficking is huge in this country, sadly, very sadly. And what oftentimes happens is one of those victims gets pregnant, and the hope would be that the potential abuser or somebody involved in that abuse would be caught. Maybe if they were taking him in for an abortion, even though I don't think Planned Parenthood reports any of that stuff. But how easy is it now for an abuser or a pimp or whatever they're called to simply go and fill out the paperwork, lie about whatever they need to, and get this abortion pill for a 13-year-old? it can happen, right?
Well, we know from long ago, from when Lila Rose began with James O'Keefe, they did undercover videos at Planned Parenthood, and Lila Rose would go in and represent that she was 15-year-old, so that she was under the age of consent, and that she wanted to get an abortion. And the Planned Parenthood was mandated by the state law that she was in to report her. Obviously, if you're a minor who's pregnant, there has been sexual abuse. That's
Hmm.
clear.
Right.
And then we know from the undercover documentaries that they did that this was swept aside, that they don't report. So yes, we have laws in place, but are they being observed? I don't think so. So now we're having an invasion across the border, and these coyotes, the traffickers, the human traffickers, are bringing people and drugs across our border, and they're trafficking women, right? Who are young women. They're being raped, and then they're being, that's being forced to be pregnant by
Hmm.
the people who are trafficking them. They're handlers, they're owners. And yet now we can get into states like California, where I'm in, and that they're actually making it easier for these young girls to be trafficked, because they're not going to receive anything but abortion care. They are encouraged to abort their children, because that is what California wants. They are very, very pro-abortion here, and what it's going to do, because there's a host of laws in California: AB 1666, AB 2091, a new one which is let me see if I've got the right one here. It is the third one is, I think it's SB 345. Anyway, I'll have to check.
Hmm.
But what they're trying to do is they're trying to prevent the enforcement of other states' laws that would protect children or young women from being trafficked. They're trying to stop that in California by saying, we're not going to recognize the warrant that you have. We're not going to recognize a judgment from another state that has found against an abortionist for whatever the court case has found, but we have a final judgment. We're not going to recognize it here in California because it concerns abortion. Same thing with warrants. Same thing with
Hmm.
bail bondsmen. It's SB 36. So those are the things that California is doing, and what that contributes to is the ease of which these coyotes can traffic human beings. Just take them in through California, and that's
Hmm.
where you can continue to get their abortions. Rape them, get them pregnant, and then go get the abortion to cover up the crime. That's what's
Hmm.
going on. Instead of protecting all of these women's lives, right? Where are the feminists and all of that?
Hmm.
They should be protecting women from being trafficked, and they should prevent anyone from being able to traffic them into states that provide these easy private abortions that you don't even report. You're not even being made aware of in the name of healthcare. It's just enabling human trafficking and the continued abuse of women in the name of healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah, the left has gone just fully overboard. I don't really know what to say anymore, because if they truly cared about women, they would make sure that they knew and understand the adverse effects of this pill. Even if they kept it legal, fine, whatever, until we can deal with that. People deserve to know what the potentials are, and that's the case for any medicine, any healthcare, any surgery that you have. You have to be told of all the ins and outs, in order for you as the patient to make the decision, and they're just simply not. Is there recourse for people, if someone takes this and has a bad adverse effect, if you're, you know someone, your loved one, someone even dies from it, is there legal recourse for this?
Well, we've developed a website. It's called abortionpillinjury.com. Abortionpillinjury.com. And it is designed to educate women about, and their loved ones, their family, about the side effects, the dangers of the abortion pill. And they can find out more information, and they can connect and get more help, more information if they have been injured, if they believe that they have been injured by the abortion pill. There are things that they can do, and they can get that kind of help. So they can go to abortionpillinjury.com, and there's a short video that explains some of the side effects. There's also frequently asked questions that cite exactly where, the FDA, the Mayo Clinic, all of these, they're open sources that document this material so that they can find out from themselves, and they can also get more information. It will direct them to an organization, a nonprofit organization that can answer their questions and provide them additional help. So that's what we're trying to do. Is we at the Right to Life League, we're trying to educate people on the truth about abortion. And this particular program, the Abortion Pill Injury Program, is designed to inform people who normally, this is beyond, outside of the bubble, if you will. We have to start reaching women where they are on their cell phones. If they're going to Google abortion pill, we want the Abortion Pill Injury website to pop up so that at least they have a chance to learn about some of these very, severe side effects. And one of the things that we're doing is we're asking people to help us by contributing to the Abortion Pill Injury program. But you can go on our website, which is righttolifeleague.org, righttolifeleague.org, and you can donate. You can choose one of the programs that we already are doing, and one of them, when you go to the donate page, hit donate, and then there's a pop-up screen. You can hit a toggle and you can see that one of the programs that we're doing is API, for abortion pill injury. And you can donate to that, because our idea is, let's try to target these ads to women who are in these communities where Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers are offering their services, so that at least they have some more information before they walk through those doors. And that's targeting is quite expensive, but that's what we hope that more people will do. If enough people in the United States decided they wanted to create abortion-free zones in their communities, they could help stop some of this misinformation about abortion as healthcare. They could drive targeted ads. They could make sure that women are made aware of the dangers and the side effects of the abortion pill. That's what's important, is that right now we have to reach beyond a pro-life inclined people, right? We have to reach beyond that. We have to reach to people who are maybe abortion minded, but we have to do it in a way that is informative and not preachy, not heavily moralistic, if you will. And that is why we've designed abortionpillinjury.com to be that, so that it is speaking just to women. It doesn't use terms like baby or family, because women who are that desperate and afraid, and they believe they have no options, they're scared, they're that desperate that they know that they're going to have to kill their baby. And so if we can reach them with neutral language that doesn't have pictures of happy babies and families, that's not what they want. They're so afraid that they're willing to kill their own baby. So let's reach them with a neutral message that is medically accurate, that communicates the side effects, but doesn't refer to the fetus as a baby. It sounds like dehumanizing language, but that is the way we're going to reach young women who have not heard this, right? Let's reach them where they are and explain to them that it's dangerous for you to take the abortion pill. There are risks and side effects that you should know about before you take the abortion pill. That's the purpose of the website, because we want to get ahead of this before the women walk in and choose to take that abortion pill and kill their baby. They should know what they're taking. They should know the risks that they're having before they go into a Planned Parenthood or into some other abortion provider to take a pill.
Yeah. So once again, the left lies to women, and once again, the left is okay with women being hurt and damaged, and it's up to the pro-life side to tell women the truth and try to help and protect them, which is always the case, and this is yet another case. If you're watching, you're seeing I'm scrolling abortionpillinjury.com at the bottom of the screen. Again, you could also go to righttolifeleague.org. For more information and to help support this, because the left, even though Roe v. Wade has been overturned, that in a lot of ways is almost made things more challenging, because each state like California and many others are going absolutely crazy. You mentioned, Susan, a number of things they're doing, but it's a fight everywhere. So we have to fight this at all levels, and unfortunately the fight won't end. It won't be like, hey, we win, we go home. That's the way it is. So really great stuff. Thank you for Susan Swift from Right to Life League. Thanks for all that you're doing and all this great information, because again, it's up to us to tell the truth to the very people that the left is saying they're helping. And it's not the case. So Susan Swift, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jerry, for having me. God bless America.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And thank all of you for listening to this episode of Fide's Podcast. Please check out all my podcasts on all the different podcast apps, on YouTube, on Rumble, and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on rightamericamedia.com. So thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time.